Hi guys. I've been getting a lot of calls, and you guys ask me a lot of manifestation questions, and you kind of hear a lot of the same thing over and over and over again. You realize that you might as well make content over what you're being asked by the majority, right? I noticed that the question that causes the most suffering in the world is actually asking why of why. Okay? Asking why of why. It's wrong. And I learned this recently through Vedantic teachings, and it's really, really important to get this, okay? Because you can't be double-minded, and you have to match the vibration of the creator, okay? So the creator never asks why of why. Okay? I want you to think about this. Never ask why of why. What I mean by this is, if you are causation itself, then most of your suffering is caused by the fact that you have forgotten this. So this has become your unconscious. Okay? And you ask, why is this happening to me? Why did I do this to myself? What was I thinking? Especially because now, if you have studied Neville Goddard and all other teachings that are like this, you have come to the conclusion. There's no other option here. I mean, you have realized that you are the maker of your experience. That everything, you have created it. Like it or not, you are its creator. Because if you do not assume this responsibility, you cannot change it. So you will live unconsciously instead of consciously. The root of all suffering is asking, why did this happen? Okay? Because the creator knows why it happened. It is your job to remember that you are defining these moments. It is your job to see how they serve you. It is your job to know that you are everything at once. So a creator never asks why of why, simply knows. Now, the reason that I want to share this with you as the answer is because I recently had a conversation with my girlfriend, Jen. Okay? She and I were talking, and I asked her, I said, listen, I want to ask you something. I really want you to take a moment to think about this, because she's the type of person that gets everything she wants. If she sets her mind to it against all odds, okay, that woman will get it. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. She'll get it. Okay? Whether it's a car, whether it's a certain weight, whether it's a certain person, it really, really doesn't matter. Okay? And what I got her to realize is that people act out of character around her based on her sense of knowing. I got her to reverse engineer, how is it that she obtains everything that she goes for? Sorry guys, hold on. I'm not sure that's going to tune him out too much, but okay. How is it that she obtains everything she wants? What is it in her that always gets that? So I asked her to reverse engineer all of her creations, all of her relationships, all of her material things, everything. Yeah, you guys, excuse bingo. Okay. And I asked her to reverse engineer this, and I said, now in retrospect, can you look at everything that you've ever obtained in your life and recognize that it was your sense of knowing against all odds that got you where you wanted to be, to experience whatever it is that you wanted? And she laughed and she giggled and she was like, you know what? It is. And she starts laughing because she even recalls her relationships, people that she was in long-term relationships with. She just knew this was the person. She just knew it. It was an absolute knowing. There was no question, nothing. There was faith there, okay? That absolute knowing caused whoever was in her perimeter to be taken by the current. Okay? Because it's like a flooded river that can take a car. You know, a normal puddle of water will never move a car, but let that river be flowing and let that current go mad, and it can take an entire house with it. That force is created by a sense of knowing. That sense of knowing doesn't ask why of why. Now I'll explain why this is so important. Okay? The illusion of the world is created by your sense of fear, your sense of doubt, and your sense of separation of it. Anything that you currently consider that you do not have right now, the only reason is because you have not realized you are that already. So you have created a sense of division that creates an unknown area. You're not sure how to get from point A to point B. This is what you want, your desired states, what you want to obtain, okay? But this is the unknown, okay? We, as a human being, unconsciously fear the unknown. This is what's creating the resistance that causes someone to stand still, become comfortable, or not push beyond this limitation. This is your invisible self-concept. And this being is everything at once. It's all of your thoughts, all of your experiences, everything you've ever done, everything you say and do, all mirrored to you all the time. The reason that's really important to understand is if you can look at it with a single eye, if you can say, this person is a mirror, if this person is showing me into myself right now, no matter what is happening, even if I think this is hurting me, this is serving me, then you will know why it's happening, and the propensity to ask why of why doesn't need to occur, so you won't step into your fear and you won't have that limitation, allowing you to transcend that. But most suffering is caused because you're forgetting you're its creator. You're forgetting you have the ability to define things. You're forgetting that you have tools. You have people standing by teaching you how to use your mirror consciousness. We're from the future. We're sitting here telling you how this works, how easy it is to see into yourself so you can reverse engineer the design that helps you eliminate all suffering, because the onus falls on you and no one else. It's on you. But if you can accept responsibility, not guilt, not shame, not judgment, you can accept responsibility of this, you have the ability to change it. Otherwise, what happens on the 3D plane is very simple. You don't have it. You don't have it. You've created a sense of lack, and you're living from there. And so that's what you see in the 3D world. If you are not questioning these things, if you're not fearing, if you are not doubting, whatever you want happens instantly. Your proof, like I said, is the up and down, the hot and cold behavior, that you can see, that you can step into your instant sense of knowing. So I'm going to take you guys, reverse engineer something. Okay. This is the problem with the delay. You guys asked me, I said what is the cause or the root of the suffering is the fear of the unknown, okay? Now, here's the problem with this. If you focus on the absence of something rather than knowing that they are within you, and you bridge that gap and you start seeing what's in front of you and how it's serving you, and you're present to what's happening, and you start guiding your mind towards what you want, you live a totally different life, right? If you don't do that, if you're afraid, you will stay focused on what you don't want unconsciously, and this is what will stay. And this is what you're working against, yourself. Okay? So now what's happening is you're going to drop in frequency, and you're going to miss someone, or you are going to, sorry, getting a call. You're going to miss someone, or you're going to feel their absence, or live from lack, or create a division that is not there. Okay? So now you're going to drop into suffering mode. Okay? Where you feel maybe lonely, sad, or whatever. Okay? All right. So you're here. All right? Your desire is here. Now, I want you to take a moment and realize the importance of your coherence and why you want to bridge this division. Okay? Your desire is here. Your feeling and mood is here. I want you to reverse engineer your desire. Most of you want something you've already had, right? You're trying to recapture the essence of a relationship when it first wasn't great. You're, before you were in fear. You're trying to recapture the essence if it's a relationship, okay? If it's not a relationship, it's a car, a house. It doesn't really matter what it is. To God, everything's the same mind substance, okay? You're trying to capture that feeling of having that, okay? So the person that has this, okay, right here, is not sad, depressed, or anything. And if you reverse engineer it back to when you had it, chances are you attracted the love of your life by being yourself. And you guys kind of magically fell into each other. Okay? Right? You were after you. It was your relationship with yourself that was mirrored back. But what attracted this person to you was your unapologetic self at the beginning, when you don't know what to expect, when every experience is new, when you're very present, when you're not taking anything for granted, when you can really become aware of how they mirror you so you can appreciate it rather than use it as points of contention, so that this relationship grows into something that is unlike anything you've ever known before. But it is the reward that you receive from loving everything that makes you you. Because I said this before, but all of your experiences, all of your memories, all of your judgments made into little patterns make the illusion of another, and then your unconscious attraction is your search for that which is similar. Yourself. You're looking for yourself. P.S. Okay? Your search for that which is similar. Okay? The reason it is important to close this loop is this. Your heart is resonating at a different frequency. It is the exact energy center in your body that is at the exact same place in your physical body and in your spiritual body. Okay? These resonate at exactly the same vibration. Okay? So this is picking up what was already given to you in spirit. Your job is to avoid the temptation of doubting, of fearing, of saying this isn't going to work, of wondering when. Okay, because if God's time is now and you have a really good relationship with yourself and the spirit and the universe, and you see how quickly you manifest, you do not ask when. You know it. It's now. So when you tap into that sense and you live from here, you can have this. Okay? But if you sit here and you question, how do I get out of here? What did I do to get here? Why is this happening to me? Or you're not asking the right questions like, how is this serving me? What am I supposed to understand? What part of this division in my story am I here to fix? And you start using the everyday 3D components to see into yourself and make peace and send love to that. You will notice that the quality of the cut off for a second. The quality of the relationship that you have with the entire universe will change. The whole thing will change with you. You have that kind of juice. You have that kind of power, but there's no room for doubt here. There's no reason to ask why of why. This is the cause of your suffering, because as soon as you don't know, you unconsciously fear the unknown. So you now have created a division between your desired state that your heart is telling you is available and the one that you can't perceive. If you can follow along with what I'm saying, you are the reason you don't have what you're looking for if you don't close the loop. The desire, since it sits in the spiritual realm, your heart picks up the frequency of what God already gave you. It is your job to take a moment, 5-10 minutes a day, and thank God, okay, that spirit inside of you, for giving you your desire. Register, close your eyes, take a moment to just simply say, thank you. I just know it's done. I just know it's done. Okay? You live from there. That person is not suffering. That person is matching the frequency of someone who knows that there's, come hell or high water, whatever they want is theirs. That is God's promise to you. And when you hold on to it like an angel and a man fighting over reality, which I do every day with you guys, okay? When you hang on to it, you can have what's available in the spiritual realm, that which your heart already registered, that which God gave you instantly. You know, there's the Our Father prayer, when you say, you ask for your daily bread. If you took a moment to appreciate the fact that it was already given, and you live from that sense of no fear, and you start unapologetically living for yourself, and you realize that maybe you've up-leveled so much that you deserve something new. Nothing has to mean anything. Do you see what I'm saying? You are defining it, is the best way I can say it. And so when you stop asking why of why because you remember that you are first cause, you can be at peace and instead implement the knowing sense that I mentioned that Jen applies, okay, in her life, right? She's my mirror of that. Okay? So when I say this, if you can apply this sense of knowing, this is the inexplicable force. This is the river that carries everything with its current. Car, house, doesn't matter if it's in the way, if it's a tree it's going to, you know, that force, that invisible force, that magnetism occurs when you know you are whole within, when you have caused yourself to pause, wake up, and start telling a different story. Start living from there. The person that lives from there isn't sad. Now, honor those feelings, yes, but don't dwell there. Don't avoid them. Please don't avoid them. Honor them for a minute, because trapped emotions turn into illness in the body. So no trapped emotions. But you want to focus on this sense, because that's the vibration that got you what you wanted. It's the vibration, if you reverse engineer how you got interested in somebody in the first place, right? You were happy-go-lucky. You didn't know what to expect. You weren't afraid. So isn't that when the relationship was new, fresh, exciting? You guys couldn't get enough of each other, but you guys were twinkly-eyed, and you know that feeling? Okay? Match that vibration. Feel it. That is the only thing stopping you from having what you want. When you stop asking why of causation, and you start knowing instead, you start being still and you notice that the whole world does a complete 360-degree turn. And you start to see these miracles, and they become so commonplace that you just stop questioning them. You just kind of know. You're just like, this is how it is. You want to get to that feeling. You want to feel this, but you can't ask why of causation if you are first cause. Instead, a constructive use of your time, if you don't like what you're seeing, could be getting to the root of it and saying, okay, this is what I came to fix. This is what it's showing me. Let me correct this part of my story. Let me live from here. Let me be at peace with this. Let me acknowledge this. Let me love this. Let me be unconditional towards this. And now let me get back into my state, because my state is what's automating everything outside of me. Your whole work is done when you can turn back to yourself and see the best in everything and realize that everything's you. And that you that you're seeing, you know what's so funny? When you really love everything about this you that you are, you don't hesitate to love this essence, okay? You recognize yourself inside every human being on earth. You realize the Christ message that is, I am the light of the world. This is universally true for everyone. That you realize it, you see it visibly. Your omnipresence is established on the third dimensional plane. You have just realized that you're looking at a giant mirror of yourself and your story made real. Literally the Bible itself. The word you have created. You are literally looking at this. And you have realized what it means, how you are alive in the word, how you are everything at once, and why you have suffered, because you have forgotten this. I hope this helps. And I know I was supposed to do questions and answers, but I can't see that well right now. I think I'm further away from the camera, so I will come back and answer the questions. But in terms of the lecture, I really tried to convey this, because honestly, this is, if you can stop suffering, you'll realize that the suffering is letting you know that you are thinking incorrectly right now. And since right now is creating your next now moment, it is your heart's job to let you know that you are creating away from your desire with your current train of thought. You need to move the train the other way. If you can do that, catch yourself and don't give up. You simply just remember you give thanks every day for what is. And you gotta appreciate where you are, because how are you gonna continue to climb above if you haven't realized that you're done with it? You have to appreciate it to get past it. So appreciation is a key thing here. The other is to avoid asking why of why. But if you guys need help with that, ask away. I've kind of made peace with the fact that all of you are me. It's actually, I love it. I live for it. Okay? So if you guys need help, feel free to set up appointments with me. I adore this. This is what I live for. But I just want you guys to know this, because it will make a hell of a difference in your life. It'll truly make a difference in your life when you can understand that the reason that you are suffering is because you create an unknown moment, a void, in which, because you don't know what's in it, you fear it. So you are afraid to cross the barrier into your desire. But that unknown moment is where you want to live, because that is the present moment where everything is fresh and you can appreciate what's in front of you. Okay? All right, you guys. Thank you, Naomi, too, because she was also the inspiration for this talk. Because we had a great conversation today, and we were doing some reading, but one of the best things that we talked about today was asking why of causation
isn't the right way, like why it's causing the suffering. And so anyway, thank you guys. I love you.